The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Are you all with us? Yeah. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good, good attempt there. All right, we have two special reports. One, Kevin Henyon from Turner is going to give us a construction update. And I'm just locating, oh, there you are, Kevin. Kevin, are you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready.
Great.
I'm going to share my screen. And everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Wonderful. All right, thank you for having us again. Tonight's going to be another pretty brief update. Starting off with the overall map of the Shaker Middle School wings, just for reference as we're talking here. So just as a side note, so all of the major renovations and addition work are now substantially complete at Shaker Middle School. So this is the lion's share of the capital project. That includes the D wing, F wing, G wing. So you have D wing, which is first and second floor, F wing, first and second floor. All of the additions added on approximately 100,000 square feet of additional space. So all of that is substantially complete. We're currently actively working on punch list items, second shift. So there's been about a little over 1,000 punch list items issued for the middle school regarding all areas that you see on the screen. Currently, we have about 74% of that complete. And we're continuing to work with the design team as well as the district. Once items are indicated as ready for review, we'll clue in the design team. They'll come out, they'll do a final walkthrough, and we've been checking off items and marking them as completed as we've been going along. So just recently, and I know I shared some photos similar to this last month, but as you can see on the left hand of the screen is the old auditorium. On the right hand of the screen is the recently renovated auditorium and the final product. So just past month, they were able to get the final touches, and actually they're going through and doing punch list work in this area as well. So in the at the K-wing main entry, you might have noticed that there were a couple more lights out front. So you could see the illuminated backlit bison exterior signage was installed since our board meeting in December, as well as the vision panels that oversee the cafeteria as you're coming down the stairs. They were able to get that done over the holiday break. Over at the concession building, so the Shaker Bison was installed last month, and they were able to get the logo, the Shaker Bison logo, up on the concession building as well. Moving over to the high school, so just similar to the middle school, just giving everybody a general layout. So currently we're working in area A, as well as area E, and the fire alarm and security upgrades regarding cameras is ongoing throughout the building right now. So over in area A, we were near substantial completion in December when we reported out. However, we are now substantially complete with that work. The previous month's activities include the installation of the vestibule, all the fire-rated glazing, the aluminum storefronts, the doors, the hardware, the intrusion systems, the card access. When you walk into the vestibule, you have that teller window. So everything is substantially complete in the vestibule. And the one remaining item that was outstanding at the last board update was the custom millwork in the corridor. as you can see on the right hand of the screen. So the general contractor was able to install that as well. So we are currently substantially complete with the exception of the exterior work, which we'll have to do some comebacks, once we get out of the days where it's 13 degrees when you wake up in the morning. So once the warmer weather rolls around, we'll be able to complete the exterior work, which includes EIFS as well as the insulated exterior metal wall panels. That's the same thing over at the addition. So we were near substantial completion at the last board update, and now we're substantially complete. That space is turned over, certificate of occupancy. So we'll just have to come back once the warmer weather decides to show its face in central New York to complete the exterior work, the brick, the insulated metal wall panels as well. I'm sorry. So I wanted to also discuss on Area A. So when I presented in December, we discussed the fact that we were waiting for this area to be turned over so that we could move the high school administration downstairs from where they were currently residing on the second floor in E Wing. That move has since passed, which now frees up real estate for architectural demo as well as mechanical, electrical, plumbing demo up on the second floor. So that's actually ongoing right now. So we've been able to hold pre-construction meetings with facilities as well as the prime contractor, so everybody understands what the scope is, what systems have to stay online and active throughout the duration of construction. So that was a big win there, getting everybody moved downstairs, because now we have that space to continue the construction activities. So switching gears over to the elementary schools, I think I touched on this at the last board meeting. We still had some final connections and controls and electric to work out regarding the temporary mechanical unit. This is the fresh air intake unit at Forts Ferry. All that work is complete. And then moving over to Latham Ridge. So that's an old picture. The Latham Ridge addition is just a current update because we're getting towards the end of January here, and the work that we had planned with facilities as well as the prime contractors, we were able to work through logistics as well as planning regarding continuing the construction activities over at the addition on second shift. So we were supposed to have a pause for this work until the end of the school, but it would be most beneficial to everyone if we could get in there to continue construction activities second shift. So we had that slated to start at the beginning of February. And that's all I really had to report on this month. So like I said, the lion's share of the capital project was completed with the middle school. The phase 2 elementary schools also reached substantial completion, and we're actively working through the punch list on those as well. And then the balance of the project is the high school and Forts Ferry, Latham Ridge, and Louderville. Are there any questions?
Looks great.
Yep.
Even that concession stand is impressive.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Everything turned out very nice.
Yes.
I think the auditorium is
Beautiful.
beautiful. I can't wait till we can get our kids back and our people back and be able to use that. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Any board members have any questions for Kevin? I guess not. I don't see any on my screen. So Kevin, thank you very much for that update.
Well,
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Kevin.
And all right, now we will go to, we have the Director of Athletics with us tonight. We have Mr. Matthew Stein. Hi, Matt. Nice to see you. Nice to have you with us tonight. And
Thank you.
You're going to be, Mr. Corey, I don't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, Mrs. Harrison, I would just like to
topic.
make a couple of introductory remarks here. So late last Friday, And quite honestly, we were not given any previous indication that there would be an announcement. But at about 3 o'clock last Friday, the governor issued a statement saying that he was okaying the student participation in high-risk sports for the winter, and also allowing fall two sports. And fall two sports include football, cheerleading, and they include also volleyball. Yes. So, this actually caught everyone by surprise. The one stipulation that's in there, and so I think it's important that we all realize that this is not Matt coming to the board for approval, but it's to provide the board with a preliminary overview and update. And if we get the green light from the Department of Health, what it could be. And so it very much is an evolving situation. So this is strictly informative. And I would also like to throw in the caveat that it is informative at the current state of where we are in this process. And I think the entire region, the entire state is, very much still in the throes of finalizing, figuring it out. And, obviously waiting for direction from their respective health departments, which is the established precondition for us to start. So I think, we all realize that, students thrive, when they have multiple opportunities for academics, for extracurriculars. And, we certainly are in the business here of working for students. And we are absolutely putting student safety first and foremost at the start of all of this. So again, we are awaiting direction from the Albany County Department of Health on this, but I think Matt is here to just provide an overview of where we are at this point in time. So thank you, Matt.
Mr. Carr, I think you hit on all of it. Any questions? All right, yeah. I'm gonna share my screen. I think that more importantly, I think the best way to summarize this is I know that I've given 2 presentations this year, one going into the fall and one going into the winter for the low and moderates, where I was able to really give you a lot of detail explaining how we were going to do it safely, how the protocols we were going to follow. And as Mr. Core mentioned, I'm not prepared to do that tonight because those documents and those conversations and those meetings are literally happening as we speak. So what I'm hoping to do tonight is really just provide you, since the release on Friday, what decisions and discussions have happened to this point that are driving, further discussion on deciding what we can do safely hopefully in the near future. So as Mr. Core mentioned, we recently had our interim guidance for sports and recreation during COVID-19 document go out. Just real quick, this is something that's located on the New York State Department of Health website, on the NISPA website. I apologize for my dogs. And this is essentially the document that has stated that beginning February 1st, high-risk sports can begin. They're not just referring to the winter sports, but high-risk sports for the remainder of the school year. So that's sort of the beginning of our guiding document, so to speak. The sports that were classified as high risk for this winter, as you can see, were boys and girls basketball, cheerleading, ice hockey, and wrestling. Also, as Mr. Core mentioned, that we need approval from the local health department. For us, it's obviously Albany County, but there's 13 counties that reside in Section 2. So as you can imagine, that's a lot of county health departments that need to get approval. For us in the Suburban Council, we cover 4 counties: Rensselaer, Albany, Schenectady, and Saratoga. So for us to effectively put a plan together, we need to get approval really from all of those counties, with Rensselaer County being the only one that has given approval to this point. And then once that county approval happens, then of course, it's our district saying, these are the sports or the levels that we feel we can safely support in North Colony. So the most recent document to come out that was hot off the presses at about 6 o'clock tonight was the NISPA guidance document. And this is going to be the document that we're really going to build our procedures and protocols from. It's a very lengthy document. It's about 70 some odd pages, but in this document, they not only outline different safety protocols, but they also get into the specifics for each sport and what they feel you need to do to run safely. That document in the past 2 seasons and 2 presentations that I've given, that's been like the guiding light, so to speak, on how we develop our safety protocols. And from there, we get more detailed and sometimes, you know, more restrictive if necessary when we create our league and also our specific protocols on our campus. Section 2 has determined that for the winter, and some of us are referring to it as winter 2 season, it can begin on February 1st, but it can go no longer than March 13th. And one thought is, I'll say in the sport of basketball, if we play 2 games a week, doing a home and home where, for example, we'll host Colony at home and then we'll go to Colony for the next game. So if there is a positive case, that those 2 teams are the only ones that have been exposed to each other in that time period. So just different ideas we're starting to play with. I will say this, virtual options with cheerleading, our competitive cheer program, once again, if it's approved, is going to be virtual. That's something that's happening in competitive cheerleading now. They're participating in events, but they're doing it in their private facilities. They're streaming their performance live with the judges on the other end. That's something that we would do in the Suburban Council, and it's nice to know that we're set up to do that in our gym now. So cheer would be an example of one of the sports that would be virtual. And then things that we're considering and talking about here in the North Colony School District, the most important, what sports and levels can we safely offer and accommodate? You know, it may be doable with approval to participate on maybe the JV and varsity level, but if we determine that because of logistics and space, it's not safe and one level makes sense, just the varsity level, those are the things that we're starting to look at. Transportation's a biggie. And if we are able to have this season, we are going to tell parents that just like in the fall, that they're going to be needed to assist with transportation. That went extremely well in the fall. Family ID, that's our online system that we use for sports rechecks. I think it's important to let the board know that we are, from a logistical standpoint, we are going to open our family ID portal so parents can register their students. We are telling our families, we do not know if sports will get approval. We do not know which sports we'll be able to play, and we don't know which levels we'll be able to play. But our sport recheck process, in a normal year, we give families a month. So it's possible that some of these programs could begin in the next 10 days or so. So we want to open that now, just so some of that can get processed. So if we do get permission, we're ready to go. So we'll open that portal tomorrow. And then looking at utilizing the concept of our athletic safety coordinators like we did in the fall. They were such a critical part to our success in the fall with managing a lot of the safety protocols, assisting with our athletes and coaches. And that's something we're talking about possibly bringing to this season if it gets approved, and how that would work. So again, I know that was brief. I know it wasn't super detailed because we're just not quite there yet, but I wanted to let you know some of the things that have been instituted and talked about at the DOH, the state, the section, the league, and of course the local level up to this point. And
this is Matt. Quick question for you. We had as you referenced, the two prior reports that you gave us, which were pretty thorough because you had more info at that time. They seem to have been, I mean, winter I know is still ongoing, but it seems to be pretty successful. Am I seeing that, observing that correctly? I mean, are things going as planned and seeming rather safe from what you're laying out?
Yeah, I'll tell you that both in the fall and in the current winter season, we've had quarantines. We've had to shut down for a period of time, move contests either because of a positive within our school district or with our opponent. But I can tell you that the one thing that we have not experienced, and this is probably the most important thing that I've noticed with the two seasons that we've run, is that we have not had a spread within a team. We've had a positive, we've had to quarantine the appropriate people, but we have not had more positives as a result of the case and it going through a team. So, you can speculate where somebody, was to catch COVID and become positive, and that's really hard to tell. But we can say that by following all of the protocols, being safe, our coaches really doing a great job making sure that athletes are honest. Here's another thing, Matt, that I can tell you. I've had a number of coaches this year who have said to me that they've had an athlete who, out of abundance of precaution, is not coming that day because they maybe don't feel well, or they just don't want to risk it. They don't want to put their teammates at risk. And it's maybe not even that they have a COVID symptom. They're just overly cautious because they really buy into, they're in it with their teammates and they don't want their team to go into a quarantine. So I think that's been the most telling thing, is we haven't had that spread and kids have been really, really cautious. Again, just for their team.
Good for them. That's great. Mm-hmm.
I have a question about the length of the season. I mean, that looked like, it's like 5 weeks or something that the governor's giving us there? Is that enough time for a team to come together and have some time to practice before they start competing?
It's a good question. Let me answer in a couple parts. So first, technically speaking, the winter season ends on February 28th. So when this came about, it's all about weeks. There's so many weeks left in the year to run things. So essentially, before this approval came, we were looking at March 1st, the fall 2 season starting. That's our sports that didn't happen in the fall. And then a late spring season, which is going to go through June, as opposed to in a normal year, it ends in early June. When this happened, our options were try to get a season in from February 1st to February 28th, and then start the fall 2, or take a little bit from fall 2, overlap a week, and reduce fall 2 a little bit. So 7 weeks, obviously it's not ideal. The goal really is to provide that experience for kids instead of saying, well, you just lost your season this year. There's no championship, Sam. So there's no sectional championships. There's no state championships. Those are off the table. It's really about the camaraderie, the opportunity to play, to compete, to represent your school. And, though we wish we had time for more, it's still going to be a great benefit to the kids.
Mm-hmm. Does the board have any other questions?
I appreciate the update.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You're
important-
welcome.
it's important for us to get this heads up because we know this is very important for the community and it's certainly very important for our students. So we appreciate your coming because you always have a lot of good information for us.
Well, thanks for the last minute letting me. I know there's a
Sure.
lot, you know, a lot of media surrounding it, so I felt it
Yeah,
it was important that everyone here at least heard what actually was going on up to this point.
yeah, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you for coming here tonight. All right, we are now going to move to personnel actions. I'd like a motion to approve them, personnel actions. Mrs. Nardolillo,
I move to approve personnel actions as recommended by the superintendent of schools.
thank you. In a second, Mr. Cannon, we're going to take the vote and then we'll get comments from Mr. Core. All right, all in favor? All right, opposed? No one opposes these. All right, so Mr. Core, do you have any comments to make tonight?
This is always a wonderful night.
Yep.
Usually when we, in pre-COVID times, we had, would be a very big night. We would have a large number of individuals who would be receiving tenure in person. Secondly, we would like to introduce Cassandra Brown. We're very pleased with the work that Cassandra has done in her teaching assistant position at Southgate, and it was with great pleasure that we are awarding her tenure. Cassandra.
Yes, good night, everyone. I just want to thank you all for accepting me as a part of your school. And without you guys, I could not do it. I have a great team at Southgate that supports me as well as I work along with them. And I enjoy working with those special need kids. And if I have to do it all over again, I will. I would. Yes.
Thank you and
Thank you
congratulations.
all.
Okay,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Cassandra.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we are pleased to announce that we are awarding tenure to Chloe Clark in the area of special education. And Chloe is a special education teacher at Shaker High School. Chloe.
Thank you all so much. I'm so glad to have gotten tenure, especially after going through the North Colony School District. So thank you all so much.
Congratulations. Chloe.
Congratulations.
Chloe.
Congratulations.
And our next individual is Jackie Coughlin. Jacqueline is receiving tenure in the area of guidance, and she currently is serving in a counselor position at Shaker High School. Jacqueline.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. It's been so lovely coming here. So I'm really excited. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Our next individual receiving tenure is Heather Gorman. Heather is a teaching assistant at Shaker High School, and it's a great pleasure to award her tenure. Heather.
Thank you all so much. It's been wonderful working in North Colony for the last, I think, 13 years. So thank you all.
Congratulations, Heather. Thank you. And
Clock. Clock.
exactly. Then I would like to introduce Erin Graney. Erin is being awarded tenure as a teacher assistant, and she currently is working at Shaker Junior High School in the 7th and 8th grade program. Erin.
I don't think Aaron's on, Mr. Core.
You are right, Ms. Skeels. Thank you. Okay, so congratulations to Aaron. We would also like to recognize our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Scott Hoop. We're very grateful for the fact that Scott has come to North Colony. We appreciate his stewardship over the district's finances and resources, and it is a pleasure and an honor to award him tenure. Scott.
Thank you very much, Mr. Core. Thank you to the Board of Education and Ms. Skeels as well. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of such a wonderful school district. Thank you.
Congratulations, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Thanks.
The next candidate for tenure is Lauren Squaderi. Lauren is earning tenure in the area of business education, and she currently teaches that important subject at Shaker High School. Lauren.
Thank you, Mr. Core. I appreciate it. I am so fortunate to work at Shaker High School. I've been now with our business department 7 years, and it's unique. We have 6 business teachers, and I just feel really grateful every day to be able to show up and work with that team. And I do appreciate the tenure. So thank you so much.
Congratulations, Lauren.
Thank you.
And, coming back on again, this time in a different capacity, we're proud to award tenure to Matt Stein as our Director of Physical Education, Health, Athletics, and Nursing, too, by the way. And so, Matt, many thanks for your stewardship of so many programs, particularly during the challenging times of COVID-19. You've brought many wonderful and innovative ideas to our program. Congratulations, Matt.
Thanks, Mr. Core, and thank you to the Board of Education. It's been a pleasure in my first few years here. It's been great to move here and bring my family to become part of the community as well. It's been a great experience for my kids in our district. I really enjoy it here, and I appreciate you putting me up for tenure tonight.
Congratulations, Matt.
Congratulations, Matt.
And that is it, Mrs. Harrison.
All right. The board knows from reading the recommendations that this is an outstanding tenure class, and we look forward to having a grand celebration someday. So just keep remembering that the grand celebration is to come. So congratulations to everyone.
Thank you.
Mrs. Harrison, do you want to say your favorite line?
Go without guilt.
That's it.
Oh, go without. Yeah, go without guilt. Sign off. Don't worry. Prepare for tomorrow. That's the North Colony way.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, everybody. We're lucky to have you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Great night.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
I forgot, go without guilt. Okay. All right, we'll move on. I'd like a motion to approve recommendations regarding the placement and classification of students and also special appointments and contracts. Mrs. Nardolillo.
I move approval of recommendations regarding placement and classifications of students as reviewed by the District Committee on Preschool Special Education for the 2021 school year, and recommendations regarding placements and classification of students as reviewed by the District Committee on Special Education for the 2020-2021 school year. And I approve special appointments and contracts as recommended by the Director of Pupil Services.
Thank you. In a second, Mr. Johnson. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Oh, wait, sorry.
I'm sorry.
One
I'm
quick
sorry,
question.
Mrs. Pangburn.
Did we, are we also approving the annual Pupil Services annual report as part of this resolution? Yes, right?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, all right. Just wanted, because it wasn't
Is that correct? Yes. All right, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to adopt a resolution. Mrs. Pangburn,
I move to adopt the resolution approving the amendments to the New York Liquid Asset Fund Municipal Cooperative Agreement as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
thank you. In a second. Mr. Razio, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you.
Just congratulations to Scott on another hat that he wears.
Yeah.
Director of this, or board, what are you, chairman of the board or what?
Thank you so much, Sandy. Appreciate it.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah. All right. I'd like a motion to approve another resolution. Mrs. Nardolillo,
I move to approve the resolution to accept a donation as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
thank you. And a second, Mr. Johnson, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the following change orders. Mr. Johnson?
Hatfield Construction LLC contract. 2 change orders, COR 036 and 037, totaling $34,617 to the Bet and Kring LLC contract. 2 change orders, COR 012 and 013, totaling $6,903 to the Family Dan's Mechanical LLC contract. 2 change orders, COR 025 and 026, totaling $7,881 to the Flex Electric LLC contract. 3 change orders, COR 011 through 013, totaling $13,580 to the Hewitt Young Electric LLC contract. 1 change order, COR 002, in the amount of $3,275 to the Johnson Controls Fire Protection LLP contract, and 1 change order, COR 032, in the amount of $11,921 to the Castleman Electric Company contract, as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second, Mrs. Nardolillo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. Actually, are we going to committee reports? I'll just mention that Mr. Vondell and I, as co-chairs of the policy committee, are preparing to embark on an overhaul of the policy book. And as we mentioned in a letter we sent to the board, and we will give you updates when appropriate. Now, Mr. Kaur, would you like to do your administrative reporting now?
Yes, this is the enrollment report for the period ending December 25th, 2020. At the elementary level, we currently have 3,027 students. That is up 9 from September 25th, 2020. At the junior high school, we have 884 students. That is up 7 from September 25, 2020. And at the high school, we are at 2018. That is up 11 from September. So our district total is 5,929 students. We are up 27 students from September. You might be interested to know we have total of 4,196 students. That is 71% of our student body in person. And our remote is 1,733. That's 29% of our student body. In September, the number was 4,420. And in the remote environment, it was 1,482. So we have a shift from September to December. We have added 250 students in remote. And we have lost, approximately slightly less than that, about 234 in person. In September, we had 75% of our students in person, and we had 25% of our students in remote.
Thank you, Mr. Kaur. Would you also do recognitions for us tonight, please?
Yes, so I think a wonderful effort that we had this year was our Holiday Assistance Program. And this is a program that we plan to continue throughout the school year. And this year we partnered with United Way, where there was a shared donation. Individuals who were making donations to this particular program and this particular drive could designate which portion of the contribution they wanted to go to the North Colony Drive and which portion they wanted to go to United Way. It was incredibly successful, netted about $14,000 in total. And, we are also very grateful to the PTA Council of North Colony because it was through their assistance that we were able to bring these dollars in and use the PTAs as a way of collecting the donations and then distributing the donations. Many thanks to Jenna Bongermino for her work and her organization on this, but Mary Alber, Leslie Shimmick, Stacy Angel, Sarah Salatin Thiel, Carla Natal, Marvin Horn, Steve Halleck, Stacy Walker, Jane Dawson, Kathleen Bashaw, Michelle Bianchino, Wendy Horn, and Nancy Mason are the individuals who are recognized here this evening for their tremendous work on this, and they are recognized by Mr. Barden in this. So again, many thanks to them. And one other...
Mr. Kaur, I'm sorry, can we also recognize Mr. Barden, who also worked a tremendous amount? He won't recognize himself in his memo, but he did a tremendous amount of work to bring this to fruition.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Casey.
It was a great
Thanks,
effort.
Mr.
Thank you
Kaur.
for mentioning
And
that.
Miss Skeels as well.
A great effort.
Absolutely. It was a
Great effort.
tremendous effort. And then thank you, Ms. Skeels, for coming up with the idea of working with United Way on that. That was a great partnership, and I think that has, I think it has increased the power of the drive and really makes it a sustainable year-round activity. So again, very important. We also, we're very pleased. This comes from Ms. Keogh, and we are recognizing two students for accomplishment in music. There was the Capital District 2020 Chopin competition, and it's a regional piano recital. Minyi Chen is a grade 11 student who was named a Chopin Master winner, and Adam Justin, who was a grade 6 Southgate student, was named Chopin Novus runner-up. There is a website, and we can get that out there, but it is, we'll post a link on our website, and I think we'll get that out there so that individuals can see the wonderful accomplishments of these young musicians.
Great talent. All right, thank you, Mr. Kaur. We'll move on to business office reports. I'd like a motion to approve the treasurer's report as well as the extra classroom activity fund report. Mrs. Pangburn?
I move to approve the treasurer's report November 2020 and the extra classroom activity fund reports December 2020 and July through December 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second? Mrs. D'Orazio, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve bills and payroll. Bills and payroll. How about Mrs. Nardolillo?
I move to approve bills and payroll November and December 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second? Mr. Johnson, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the investment report. Investments. How about Mrs. D'Orazio?
I move to approve the investment report November 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second? Mrs. Pangburn, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the monthly financial statements. Mrs. Pangburn?
I move to approve the monthly financial statements, November 2020, as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second? Second, Mrs. Norillo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the BOCES bill adjustment. Mrs. Dorotheo?
I move to approve BOCES bill adjustments December 2020 as recommended by the Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Thank you. And a second? Mr. Johnson? Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. I'd like a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from December 21st. Mrs. Pangburn?
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of December 21, 2020, as recommended by the Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you. And a second? Mr. Johnson? Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you very much. I would like a motion to adjourn. Mrs. Pangburn?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you. And a second, Mr. Cannon? All in favor? Thank you very much, and thank you all for attending tonight. And we appreciate your being with us, and please come back. Anything else? Anybody else? Any other comments? All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Take care, everybody.